Hello everyone, and welcome to my game of World of Warships. Today it's one of my replays and I'm in the Pommern, a tier 9 German premium battleship. I'm on the mountain range and it's a tier 9 battle, which is amazing. There's no carrier. And, well, there are 3 destroyers, but we've already found an enemy scone. And, well, scones are meant to be eaten, so that's exactly what we're gonna do now. Now, our own scone is avoiding some fish, which looks nice. And oh, a Kagero is getting involved in this gunfight. Well, I mean, not the most fearsome gunboat out there. So my secondary is opening up on the Kagero, but it looks like the Kagero is almost out of range. I'm using my rear turrets there. The skein got successfully eaten. Now, unfortunately, it looks like our destroyer is getting rather low here. I'm hoping he will manage to slip away into concealment. Well, unfortunately not. So, people keep telling me that, you know, secondaries are dead and secondaries can't do any damage anymore and so on, and honestly that's not really true. It's just getting harder and harder to use your secondary specs because the meta is getting more and more passive, and there is so much long-range damage that you often get farmed while you try to get close. But there is nothing that you can get close to because everyone is humping the zone wall and things like that, you know. But if you get into a position where you can make your secondaries work, they are still pretty glorious, to be honest. Now, we have a Cyclone coming in here. Cyclone is amazing when you're in a Pommern. You got Hydro, you got torpedoes, you got secondaries, right? If you're forced if the enemy is forced to fight you at 8 kilometers, it's gonna be good. Well, hopefully. First, obviously, I have to survive long enough. Now, currently, I'm mostly getting spammed by a München. And I'm kind of keeping an eye on this structure. I was thinking that maybe I should go there and support Viper. Obviously, first I have to dodge some incoming torpedoes. I can't really push into A because of the Kagero. I would like to push this München some, but the Kagero is a problem, and it looks like the Kagero has reload booster. Good thing to know. Meanwhile, the Georgia has been dealt with, so I'm not actually needed there, and this also frees up Viper to come here and spot the Kagero for me, which will be rather helpful. But the Kagero is the only thing that's stopping me from really just going aggressive here. Now also, who knows, maybe I'll get a good salvo against the München. Who am I kidding, I'm a Pommern. In the Pommern, your main guns are mostly just for show and a distraction so that the enemy doesn't realize that you're farming them with a secondaries. And I got one ricochet of München, isn't that love? Meanwhile, it's not looking so good at the sea cap, because, well, we've lost our destroyers there. Actually, we are down to, well, we've lost one destroyer there and we've lost one destroyer there. We are down to 1 DD, which is Viper here, and I mean, he'll hopefully be able to spot the Kagero and take A. We still have some forces at sea, and the enemy doesn't have too many ships there, right? They have the DD advantage, but still, would be some good stuff happening over there. Now, Viper has found the Kagero not having a smoke screen has absolutely no way of dealing with this, and is probably gonna down. The only chance the Kagero has is that Viper is getting farmed faster than he is, so that he can't disappear again. Now, I don't have a Hydro currently running, which is a shame, but you know, I have Viper in front of me, so that will help with some torpedo spotting. I'm not actually sure if his Hydro is currently running. Considering that he's a Shetland, there's a good chance that it is. And, you know, for now, this Kagero is just going down. Now, I'm not getting an awful lot of secondary hits there, mind you, but those secondary hits do quite a bit of damage to a destroyer. So there is that. Now, the Cyclone has finally started. It's still at 29 kilometers, but, you know. And, oh, my secondaries are opening up against an Amalfi. There's also the potential of torpedoes from the Amalfi coming my way, so I have to be careful. I don't want to be too broadside to the Soyuz if I can avoid it. And I'm contemplating shooting the Amalfi instead of the... I mean, you know, all of my shells against the München have been basically rather useless. Pommern guns. Well, let's give the München another try. I mean, it's not like the München isn't showing broadside or anything. It's just that... I mean, he's also varying his speed and such. He is trying to dodge. But, you know, those shells, they were pretty spot on with the aim. It's just that, you know, his broadside, but RNG is... RNG is having none of it. Also, by the way, both of my torpedo launchers have been permanently destroyed. Isn't that a shame, right? Now we have a Cyclone, we have the perfect rolling opportunities, and we will have them. But, you know, good torpedo launchers have been and not a single hit against the München, obviously. You know, I mean, it comes to no surprise that so many people just go for the sniping builds, because they are just so much easier to play and so much more effective without the trouble of getting close. I mean, a secondary build is glorious if you get close, but you know, first you gotta get into the situation. And that makes secondary builds a lot harder to play. Now, we finally have the Cyclone in full force, which means that while I don't have any torpedoes anymore, I still have good secondaries, I still have Hydro. And well, I also have some primary guns, I guess. You can see here, by the way, my secondary status is still 100%. Right? So while I've lost my torpedo launchers, my secondaries are still here. And they will serve me well. Also, I should really press the heat. I'm not paying enough attention, I guess. There is really no reason to not be healing. Ready. Now, there is the Hydro, because I was detected. And there is my heal finally. So I was detected. I presume it might be the Benham around here somewhere. And yeah, there are the torpedoes coming. So I got a nice salvo. Well, I got a nice, somewhat broadside of the Amalfi to shoot it. Obviously, my salvo didn't do it a lot. And now I'm gonna start the torpedo beats. Not quite perfect here. I'm taking one here. And can I fiddle into this gap? No, I don't. I've turned too much here. I would have needed to go a little bit more this way. So I think I could have dodged there, but I screwed that up. Now another salvo against the Amalfi and another overpants. But you know, it's alright because I have secondaries, and the secondaries need to compensate for my main battery guns here. And of course I'm running rather low. And there is a Benham. A Benham is known for having lots of torpedoes. Considering that he has launches on both sides, there might just be a lot more fish coming my way. I'm also on fire, because obviously I am. I'm even getting shot at from I don't know where. Which is kind of interesting, because, you know, we can't see anything in the direction. Guess they're blind shooting on the minimap. Now, more troops incoming, but this time I shall probably dodge. The Amalfi managed to get away for now. And I'm on very low health, but I'm almost to another heal. Now the Iowa could easily finish me off here with a good salvo. I'm good. I'm well angled, but if it just shoots me one into the superstructure, it's possible for him to take me down here. But heal, yeah, there is the heal. So secondaries are going to continue with the Iowa. Wait, only the rear gun of the Iowa is looking my way, so that's good. And oh, this is going to be bad. So I need to fiddle through those torps, and that means I have to show broadside to the Iowa. And, you know, yeah, that works. Oh, the Amalfi has reappeared. I'm trying to switch my secondary focus, but he's going down too fast anyway. It doesn't look like he got torps off, so that's good. Oh, well, okay, he got torps off. But it's okay, I still have a little bit of Hydro remaining, and that should be enough. Also, it looks like the Iowa really isn't shooting. I guess he wants to shoot other stuff. So my Hydro no longer running. But I presume the Hipper is Hydroing this Benham, because we are seeing it. So let's farm the Benham. The Benham is in a very bad spot, because there's an island in front of him, so he can't really run. Or not that easy, I guess. So secondaries are going after the Benham. And come on my pretties. Give me that sweet close quarters, there it is. So, you know, let's fight the Iowa again. And I might even survive long enough to get another heal off. Now the torpedo threats are finally dealt with. And overall, you know, this game looks pretty much like a win right now. So, main guns never fail to disappoint, but it's okay, that's why we have secondaries, you know. And the secondaries are just merely pew-pewing away there. And see, the beauty of those German secondaries is with IFAG, they pen 32mm, which means we are getting quite a lot of damage and not just useless bounces like other nations. And at tier 10 you don't even need IFAG, right? If you're in a core first, you just pen 32 anyway. Now, Iowa still trying to get away and shooting me with high explosive, it seems like. Let's see what my main guns can do. Whoa, that's actually a reasonable hit for once. Also, I'm on fire, and that's fine. I'm out of heals, but you know, I still have like 30k health left. One fire isn't going to be the end of me right now. And once the Iowa is dealt with, I can damage con, which should be relatively soon. Got a fire of my own with my secondaries, and down goes the Iowa. Now I can just damage con and switch over my secondaries to the Soyuz. I'm fully broadside to a Soyuz, which might just be very unhealthy. But I'm already turning. Thing is, I probably won't turn in time. Once again, secondaries, primary guns basically doing nothing. But that's okay. My secondaries are having fun. It isn't that the important part. So, Soyuz is down, that leaves them with one Italian showing full broadside, and I have absolutely no hope of getting a good hit here. But hey, so my primary gun RNG has been rather abysmal in this game. It's what happens with a Pommern. I mean, sometimes, you know, RNG is with you and you get your devastating strikes, so you get even good hits, but not this game. This game is basically the Pommern as you would expect. Your primary guns are just here to serve as a distraction. Oh, let's take a look at the results. I had a pretty decent game, and Viper also had a pretty decent game, it looks like. So very nicely done by him. I got myself a Fireproof, a Close Quarters Expert at Red Knot, and a First Blood. And not the most damage I've ever did, I suppose, but you know, 280 secondary hits. Isn't that lovely? And exactly those secondaries are what I want to talk about, right? With 280 hits, I did 63,000 points of damage there. Plus like another 4.7k with fires, which means that my secondaries with the fires they said out-damaged my main guns. And you can't really tell me that's bad damage. Yes, the accuracy sucks, I know. I fired 1438 secondary shells and only 280 hit, but that's not really the important part. The important part is they did quite a bit of damage. So yeah, secondaries are not quite dead yet. It's just that brawling itself is getting harder and harder to achieve. So I hope you guys enjoyed watching this, and I'll see you next time.